stop following your heart. From the time we're little all the way until we grow up, we're always told to follow your heart. They say in Disney movies, they say it in books and kids' TV shows, even as adults, they always say, follow your heart. Just follow whatever, feels right, whatever it feels right. And, then you'll find what exactly purpose is, what life is all about. But I'd say it's quite the opposite. If you go by feelings in everything that you do, you will never end up anywhere within life. Think about it. How many times have you felt like not doing something, not performing to the best of your ability, not working out, not going out and really pushing yourself, getting into an uncomfortable state? Because, as humans, we don't want to be uncomfortable. It doesn't feel good. And you want to say, oh, follow your heart, follow what feels good. But where would you be if you followed every single feeling that you had? Every feeling of anger, sadness, joy, like all these different things that we feel, where would you be if you follow that feeling? Rather than using logic, rather than, following the guidance of the Holy Spirit, rather than living in truth, rather than in feelings. That's the problem with so many people in society today. Everyone just wants to follow their hearts. They want to follow what feels good. It might feel good for a moment, but it's going to come back and nip you in the bud later. It feels good for, a second, but then later it comes back to hurt you. There are all these different things. Like, it feels good to eat cookies. It feels good to, eat sweets, to eat sugar. You get your little dopamine high from it. But then later on, when you start building up a little bit of fat, when you start putting on pounds, then you're like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have ate those cookies. It felt good for a moment. You listened to her. It felt good. You follow your feelings. You were hungry. You felt like eating something sweet. But then later on, it came and hurt you. This is why you cannot follow your heart. Test your heart. See, like, really, like, oh, you might be feeling, upset with someone. But does that mean you follow your feelings and you go and lash out at that person that did wrong to you? That you feel like deserves your anger? Is that the right thing to do? Like, truly think about it. Every single situation you've been in life, if you followed your heart, where would you be? Some people, they would be in jail right now for the things that they would have done. And be honest, there's some things you would have been in jail if you did exactly what you felt like, or you would have at least been in trouble, or it would have went so much worse than what it was. You can't follow your feelings. When you're finding your wife, you cannot follow your feelings. Just because a girl is attractive doesn't mean she's gonna be a woman of God. It doesn't mean she's gonna be, the woman that raises your kids. It's gonna be the mother of your kids, someone that you can die happily with. You might feel attracted to her. You might feel like, oh, this girl's amazing. But you see all these different red flags. And the thing is, when you have feelings and you get feelings so tightly mixed into things, red flags turn into pink really quick. They turn from, oh, that's a red flag, I would never date someone like that, to where it's like, oh, well, it's just a little mistake. They might grow out of it. They'll get better. I can change them. I can change them. You cannot. You cannot live a life of just following your heart. It is not going to lead you down a purposeful path. Choose purpose over pleasure, not pleasure over purpose. Purpose is the greater idea. It's the goal. It's the goals that you have, all the things that you want to accomplish within life. It's what's driving you. What are you supposed to be doing here on this earth? What are you supposed to be doing with this limited amount of time? And it's so important. Every single second counts. Every single minute counts. And when you realize that, you realize you can't go by feelings. It's like it's just like the fact you cannot rely on motivation to move. You can't just follow your heart to wherever it goes, to wherever it leads. No, your heart will lead you straight. It says that in the Bible. Your heart will lead you astray. You need to test your heart. Test all these different things. Is this really sound advice? Your heart might be saying, oh, I really love that person. But then, you're really thinking, and you're like, well, my friends are saying there are red flags here. My parents are too, and I see red flags. Like, come on. You need to realize, wake up as young men, as men, and not just young men, but as you grow into just becoming full grown men. You cannot just follow your heart. As a man, your responsibility to lead your wife, to lead your family, to follow God. You cannot live a life where you're just following things that feel good, following things that, that give you pleasure, that are nice and sweet and fluffy. You cannot do that. Men are supposed to think deeper. They're supposed to consult God before they do what before they have any like sort of changes. That's how you're supposed to live your life. So rather than following your heart, I really want you to first evaluate, is this something that is gonna lead me down a bad path? Is this something that I'm getting caught up in? Is this something that is making me lose my way? That is getting me distracted from the overall goal that God has for me, from the overall purpose that God has for me? Two, if so, turn away from it now. Turn away from it now. Your heart is very strong, it's very powerful. And the longer you wait, the longer you allow it to build up more strength, then, go and start leading your mind instead of your mind over your heart, then you give it more power and you're more likely to fall into that trap, fall into that pitfall, fall into just that feeling of whatever feels nice rather than doing whatever is purposeful. And then three, I need you to go and do it all over again. Evaluate. Evaluate and turn away. If it's not leading you down a good path, turn away. Repent. Turn away from it. Turn away from it completely. Run in the opposite direction. Because you do not want to get caught up in a life of chasing your heart, chasing everything that your heart flutters for. It'll just leave you empty. It'll leave you with no meaning. It'll leave you feeling meaningless in life. Don't follow your heart. Now, if you want to watch another amazing video, you can click this video right here and it'll absolutely change your life. YouTube really says you like it, so I think you should click it. This might be the one thing you follow your heart on. Follow your heart and click this video right here.